All right, so the next thing you want to do, now that we've edited the dialogue, let's say we want to add some music. So you can add branded music. If you're doing TikTok One or any advertisement videos, you want to make sure you use commercial-free music. So if you click here, this will show only commercial-free music. But if you use AI music, you can just click here and you can create your own AI music. So let's say right here, I've already typed in music app, and then I click here for generate. I don't think this uses any credits to generate music, which is actually really good. It's going to generate 3 different songs, and once it's done generating, you can listen to it and see if it's a good fit. So let's see what this generates for us. So there's 3 songs that were generated, actually 2. I don't know why the other one didn't generate. We're going to use this one. So you just slide this here because you want the music to start immediately. And then you see this button here. If you click on it, you'll see the levels. One thing about sound, when you're dealing with dialogue, you want the dialogue to be at -6. If you're dealing with music, you want the music to be around -20. And sound effects can be between -12 and -20. So if I mute this dialogue, let's hear how the music sounds. The music is way too loud. So I'm going to just click here and then drag it down to right about there. I have it at -12. Let's see how that sounds. See, it's at -12, but the average is at -20. Now, if we do the dialogue and mute the music, let's see how the dialogue sounds. I think the dialogue was fine.
This is Star Maker, a free karaoke app.
Actually, it's a little bit too low. So if we increase it, it's going to be a little bit too high, but let's see.
This is Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending songs.
That was good, actually. That sounds good. So then when you play, now that they're both mixed, let's see how this sounds.
This is Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending songs.
It's perfect, actually. All right, so now we can just move this back, and then we just highlight this and press the W key on the keyboard, and it did that because of where I had my cursor. But now music's done. If you want to add sound effects, you just click on sound effects, and then let's say you want a ding sound, so just hit ding bell. This is crazy because 80% of the sound effects I can find on CapCut. I don't even need to use my sound library most of the time. So that's really crazy. So let's say this sound. I have it favorite. You can favorite these things too, by the way. You can see I have this one favorite. So if you have a sound that you're going to use a lot, you can favorite it and then go to yours and favorite, and then you can see all the favorite stuff that you have. Favorite sounds. So we have this. And remember what I said, the sound effects should be a little bit louder than the music, but not as loud as the dialogue. So we're going to turn this down. So here we go.
This is Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending.
That's it. That's how you do the sound design. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Where should we start? I would say color grading is the next one. Let's do color grading. Click on adjustment and then click here. The reason why I recommend doing color grading on top of the rather than on the footage, it just makes it more organized and less destructible to the footage itself. So if you have the free version, I don't think you'll have auto adjust or color correction. It shows that it is there, but I don't think you can do this in the paid version. Maybe you can now. It used to be a paid feature. So when you click on this, it's always wrong. Every time you click on it, it takes it to 80. It's never going to be 80. It's just too bright. It's too crazy. Usually you got to bring it down to around like 20 or something like that. If you uncheck it, you can see what it was before. It does help. The other one is color corrections. Another one is never at 80. So maybe like here, but you see how it just changes. It just color corrects a little bit. Color match is extremely powerful. You can either color match something in another part of the scene. Say you shot the video in 2 different locations. You can go here, you can click on it. And let's say the part of the video you want to use is here. But you can also click local and drag a picture from like a movie, or actually I'll show you what I mean real quick. But it can be from a movie, it could be from another video you've done and you want to keep the same style. Here, I'm just gonna go to here. I'm gonna type UGC video. You won't be able to see this, but let me see if I can pull this off. Shoot, these look really bad. All right, let me see if this one works. Let's drag this in. Nope. All right, I'm gonna have to use Eagle. I will probably make a tutorial on Eagle at some point too. All right, so this is the reference. You hit and now it's using the reference of that image. So this is the original image right here. And now she's in that reference. Sometimes it works really good. This is a bad reference, to be honest, but this is how you do color match. It will match the colors of this image to this. You don't want it for this situation. Now, if you go down, let's say you want this to be more cooler colors, because right now it's kind of harsh, then you just pull it down. That's the cool colors. Her face is kind of red, so I would probably do protect skin like that. Usually you can't really notice too much of it. When I do these types of color grading, I always go to the extreme and then pull back until I get to something I like. I usually don't mess with exposure too much. Contrast is already taken care of, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then highlights is taken care of. Shadows can be enhanced a little bit, so maybe about right there. Whites can be enhanced. Blacks, no, let's not touch that. Brilliance, I think that's fine. Sharpen, never go over 5, so about right there is good. Maybe 2. Clarity, what clarity looks like, maybe about right there. If you crank up sharpen, it's crazy at 82. That's why you gotta be careful with sharpen. I would say like 3. All right, and you can add vignette if you want. So this is vignette, it's like that. Normally you wouldn't use that. This is one of my favorite things. So like there's too much or needs more of a certain color, I use this. Let's say there's too much red, so we can pull this back and this will give it less red. We're not going to worry about that right now because we're going to do something totally different to make this look even better. So the next thing we're going to do is, oh, you got curves too, so you can mess around with play with the curves. You can do a bell curve. Actually, that looks horrible. I'm going to show you the right way to do it. So you can just put a button there or put a dot there, drag this down, drag this up. The reason why this is looking wonky is because we've already did color grading. If you want to do like basic fixes, you can play around with this. But you've already done color grading, there's no need to do any bell curve stuff. And you can do it based on the red, green, and blue as well. You also have color wheels, so you can do color wheels. And I think they have presets. I probably have to add the presets, I think. You can add presets here. So I have presets set up. And then you can do mask. So a mask is like this, but you can't do a mask with this because, well, you can. See, actually you can mask. So let's say you only want to color grade her face. You can color grade the face and then make it a mask, just like that. And mask works for every layer, not just the adjustment layers. But we're not going to use masks. Your LUTs are right here. So these are basically like presets. I have none. But I do have presets, which are, you go under yours. And if you're connected to the WebSlinger account, all my presets are right here. So these are all my different presets. So you can see example. And then I also have face presets. So now that we've talked about general color grading and you can see the before and after, we're going to go into the face modification. So this gets even deeper into the process. If you go into retouch, so you click on your video, you can't do this with adjustment layer. If you click on adjustment layer, you see it's not an option for this. When you click on the video, you have these new options. You still got mask, you can still do mask like we talked about. You can also do remove background. So I can do auto remove background. It's gonna process, and now the background's removed. Is it great? Hell no, it's not great. You should use After Effects for this. But sometimes this helps, or sometimes it works. You can even add a stroke to it, but that's more stylized than anything. This could work if you wanted to do something like this. You can make the stroke bigger, you can make the opacity lower, and then when she's moving around, you can put a background around. Yeah, should I use it? Hell no. I wouldn't use it 90% of the time. I would just use After Effects. But if you wanted to do some type of like green screen effect with say, gameplay or products or sort of skit, or you're doing a talking video, then it's something you can do very quickly, but the quality is not going to be as good as After Effects or even DaVinci Resolve. All right, so we just covered basic, we covered remove background, we covered mask. Now let's cover retouch. Just to choose the drop down, you're gonna have to activate the style. So if you click auto style, then you can choose single face or multiple face. Now this is when auto style is on, this is when it's off. If you click on skin, you can actually go in and start playing around with the settings. So let's say we even it out, maybe some de-wrinkling, Maybe clear out some blemishes, take away some of the smile lines. Don't make it look too polished because then it's going to look like you did this in Photoshop. And then you do the, take away the black circle or dark circles. And then you can just whiten a little bit. And then this is where I was saying with the color. You see how there's like a lot of red in her face right there? You can change the skin tone. You see how you can give her a tan? You can do all this stuff with this. And this will help with evening the face out. If we crank this all the way up, it's going to be, you see how it looks Photoshop? You don't want that. So this is a little bit, but you still see there's a little bit of red. I can fix the red. That's not a problem. Actually, this is starting to look really good. If we go back into adjust and then here, we'll just desaturate the face right there. And then that's good. Now, this is where you can use the rotoscope or that removal background by just duplicating the video here and then masking it with just the face and then tracking it. If you want to do that, you can, but this definitely, you see how it's starting to look a lot better. If you want to drain it down even more, you can, but huge difference with the redness. All right, so going back to the face, a second, let me click on this. We can go in here and then do more work. So you can go to face and then go to, let's say her teeth. So let's say her teeth is yellow. We can go into face, actually go into features, turn that on, go to mouth, and then we can whiten the teeth. So now the teeth are white. It looks like a little bit too white, so we don't want it too white. You can also change the size of the teeth. I wouldn't do that. In this case, you can change the position of the mouth. So if you want our mouth to be like this, you can. This actually is probably a relatively new feature that they added, but it's just other stuff. You can make her smile more, but I'm not a fan of that. So you see how it's like, it looks kind of crazy, but again, use at your own discretion is what I would say. But so let's go back to the auto faces. So if we click on auto face, I'm going to turn this off actually. So if we click on auto face, this is what auto face looks like. Now you can increase the retouch or you can decrease it about right there. And then you can reshape, and it's like auto reshaping this. You can increase the makeup and decrease it. This is native. You can do like this. This is almost changing the person's appearance completely. You can do some gothic stuff. You see how it just changes the way they look almost completely. It's kind of wild. Highlighter, yeah. Do I like this feature? It just really depends. It does look kind of AI-ish, but you'd have to tweak it. It doesn't look bad. See how it's like, that's what it looked like before. And then this is what it looks like now. Now I crank it up. This looks too uncanny. But we can get like, if it's like, this might actually look normal. So it does make her head look big. Because in the original, well, I guess it's not making the head look big. But anyway, that's the way I would do it. So let's just keep it like this for now. Let's talk about the next cool feature. So you have, if you go to, wait, we're going to shut this off actually. It's not going to let me finish it. Let's bring back the skin. And unfortunately, it does remove all the settings. So let's get those back to where they were. Smooth the skin out a little bit. There we go. And then skin tone. All right, perfect. I think that looks pretty good. It is kind of bright though. Let me brighten it. There we go. That looks somewhat better. All right. So we did the face. We got to get the teeth again. So let's go back, whiten the teeth. Right about there. Just a little bit white, not too white. That looks good. This is before, this is after. Much better. All right. So eyebrows. You can manipulate the eyebrows. So you can have them down. You can change the distance of them. You can change the shape. So you want her to have her eyebrows arched. Even though there's a tiny difference, it's pretty crazy. You can change the nose, so you can make the nose smaller. You're literally pretty much doing plastic surgery on people, to be honest. So you can do that with this software. Again, this is stuff that they don't tell you how. They don't let you know you can do this. If you're cosplaying as like elf or something and you have like ears, like, man, I wish I can like have my nose be like an elf. You can do this now. You can increase the height of the nose and now you have like elf kind of thing happening. Pretty cool. More stuff that you can do. I'm not going to go through all that. It's not really important. So you can try it at your leisure. Then you have the makeup. So you can do all looks. So you can do Barbie look, which that actually looks pretty damn good. We'll probably keep it on this one, but I'll show you two other ones. So this is another one you can do. And let's try one more. Let's do the boyfriend. All right. The boyfriend actually looks pretty good too. But we'll keep it on the actually the Barbie one. Now that I've seen the boyfriend actually looks better. Let's see what this is after. Good. All right, sweet. And then you can change the degree of how much it is. So this will probably be better. One thing I did notice is that the lips seem to be not colored in. Oh wait, I think it is. Okay, maybe I think it is. First I thought the lips, because you can put lipstick on here too. If you click on this, right now it's just a look, but you can put different lipstick on. But it looks kind of crazy, but again, you can change the degree of the lipstick. So this is before, that's after. So it just gives it a little bit of more of a punch. That's pretty much it. That's everything with face. I know you thought we were done, right? Nope, there's body. So body, you can do auto body, auto bots. So this is auto body. And then if you turn auto body off, I don't know why it's auto body. You still have to modify stuff. So you can modify the neck, or sorry, that was the head. You can modify the head. You can make the arms bigger, smaller, and straighten the shoulders. That's probably something I need all the time. And then you got your body. So this is like how big or small you are. You have your waist, which you can't see. Legs, you won't be able to see. You can increase the chest, which for some reason you can't see, but normally you can see. Let me see if it might be because she has a shirt on. Hips. And then smoothing, smoothing just smooths everything. See how it looks? It smooths like stuff around your arms too, and things like that. You can brighten your body as a whole. And then that's basically it. But yeah, for the chest, if you're a guy, you want a big chest as a muscular guy, that's the feature you use. If you're a girl, you want a bigger bust or chest, that's the effect you would use, is this right here. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. Self-explanatory. All right, so the next thing is the hair. So if you want her to have red hair, it says, can I apply style? Interesting. I don't know why you can't. All right, so we'll worry about that later. It might be because we're using a preset. And these are the face presets I was talking to you about. So with the actors and actresses, in this case, just actresses, they have their own presets because it works for their look or whatnot. So these are the presets. You can make your own presets by, again, going to save as presets. And then if you go to face presets, it'll be right here. You have body presets as well. That's pretty much it. And the cool thing is, let's say you have an elf preset or an ogre preset or a alien preset. You can save these presets and then go right into them right here. All right, sweet. So we just went over all three of these things here, and like I said, the mask, I'm not gonna go too much into masks. You got a mask like this, you can mask like that. Some self-explanatory stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's so simple. It's a mask. It's just it. This is not beginner level editing, so I'm not gonna go over stuff that you guys have seen in other software. I will say before I do leave this, you do have an reverse, or other words, invert, by clicking this, and this will invert the mask. And then you have like feather tools, so you can feather the mask. So you can have expansion. These are just basic stuff again. And you can track the mask too. So you can track stuff and it will actually track the mask. So while she's moving, the mask is moving with her body. See how it's moving? But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. But at least you get the idea. I'll definitely delete that from the tutorial. All right, so let's just wrap this up quick. So the next thing is, now that we have the audio done, we have her face enhanced, I still think that the face needs to be less red. I hate to say it, man. It bothers me. Let's go in here and drop this even more. That looks a lot better. This is what it was before. You see how red it is? It's pale, so we'll just crank it up. Let's see how that looks. It looks better. I'm happy. It made me happy. All right, so we have this all set up. If your camera is shaky, the camera's not shaky here, but if you turn on stabilize, it will stabilize your camera. Don't need it for this, But if you have a shaky hand or someone filming had a shaky hand, had too much caffeine, then they would want to probably turn this on. Now, if the quality is kind of grainy, low lighting and stuff like that, you can use this feature to enhance the quality of the video, but I don't think it's really that good from in most cases. As we're adding features here, you can see that there's like two being added. I'm going to turn off the stabilize because we didn't need it, but then you can check and see the status of what's being added. We'll keep going while this is adding. Reduce noise is the same thing. This will reduce bad quality noise and stuff. You see, this actually helped. Now, I would not recommend UHD because sometimes it can make it look kind of plasticky or like fake. So I would stick with HD and not UHD for most cases. But this looks good. If I turn this off, this is what it looks like before. This is what it looks like now. This actually enhanced the video. And then if you click, this would actually reduce the noise. And you'll see that there's some noise on her arm, and now it's gone. So now you got a combination of the noise being removed and the video being enhanced. It does look kind of weird because if you turn it off, it looks more natural. If I turn off the reduced noise, I think just the reduced noise helped too. Sorry, let me bring that back. I think the reduced noise helped, but it does make it look kind of like so. Just keep going. You got optical flow. It changes the frame rate. So if you want to do anything with like slow motion and things like that, that's why you would use optical flow. You have AI expand. This is free. So let's say the client wanted a horizontal video versus a vertical, or let's say you're editing someone's video and they did not film it horizontally and they filmed it vertically or vice versa. Then you would use this to generate a, oh yeah, you can't do that now, but you would just use this feature to expand the video basically. It's really easy to do. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just pick the aspect ratio and it'll fix it. AI removes watermarks, things like that. Removes maybe even logos on t-shirts like this, things like that. I can't use this because we already have the AI stuff already applied to it. But if we were to use it, you just click on it and then you just draw over it and all that stuff. Eye contact is huge because some people, they look the other way. They're not looking at the camera while they're reading when they're doing the video. Click this bad boy and they're going to always be looking at the camera no matter what. It's super creepy, but it looks really good. Lip sync, we have a separate tutorial on that. Just check out that tutorial. Relighting, I don't use it a lot, but it's pretty cool actually. So like we do a soft light and you can move the light wherever you want it. And then see how that looks. And then you just bring down the intensity a little bit. And then you can add another light. Let's say we want to add a blue light. We can bring this here. And then, let's see, bring up the intensity. With this being a pretty white and bright image, you're not going to notice these type of relightings unless it's a darker image. But that's basically how you use relight. There's a lot of presets. Like this is a preset where it can actually add the background light, the backlight for you. So it's pretty cool, pretty niche. It definitely brings life to a pretty static image and video, but not useful for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. We have auto reframe. This will reframe the, it's like if you had a long form video that's horizontal and then you want to make shorts, like animated shorts, or not animated shorts, but just like YouTube shorts or TikToks, this is what you use. You'll have the aspect ratio, original file, image stabilization, camera moving speed. Pretty simple, not going to apply to this. This remove flickering. This happens when there's like flashlight or a TV or a monitor. This will remove that. It's really good. AI movement, it's just like it sounds. You apply this to it, and now the camera is going to have this dynamic movement as she's talking. So see how the camera is moving? Wait, is it done? That was a little weird. It didn't actually do it. It scaled it up, but it didn't make the camera move. Let's try to shake. See if shake does it. I don't know why, but it's not actually working. Oh wait, it did work right there. Let me see. Something's going on. I think it's just too much processing power right now. But you can play around with this and you'll get to see what it does. This is camera tracking, so basically it'll just track the head, the it clown type of thing. Pretty self-explanatory. And this is motion blur. This will add motion blur to fast moving objects and people. Not necessary for this, but great for like, action flicks or action scenes and things like that. And that's pretty much basic for audio. If you don't want to use this one-click audio enhance and you just want to use the audio tools here, you have the fade in, out, volume, normalize, enhance voice, video translator is a pro feature, but you can translate and change the language of the video, which is insane. Reduce noise. You can isolate the vocal, so you can keep the vocal. I'm gonna show you this. This one's pretty important. But you can also do the opposite. You can actually remove the voice and keep just everything else. So this is pretty good. I sometimes will still use this just so I get a very clean voiceover. But you don't have to use it, but I'll use it sometimes. This one is fill channel. So basically you can fill the channel on one side, the left or right. I never use it. You do have voice changer, so you can change your voice to have different filters. So like if you want to be inside of a movie theater and you want that echo, or you want to sound like you're talking on an old telephone, or have a vinyl sound, or you're inside of a bathroom, you have all those filters they can use here, which is crazy. You can change your voice. So this is different voice of ET or what else? Different characters really. Flirty female. Click on this. This will change her voice to a flirty female. So let's see how that sounds. Here, let me make sure I unmute it.
It's a Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending songs.
I think there's something going on with the lag of this system.
It's a Star Maker, a free karaoke.
Because if I click out of it, let me see if it just synced up again. Hang on.
This is Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending songs.
Something's going on with the system. I don't know if it's because I'm live streaming or what, but I'm not live streaming, but I'm recording this. But there's something going on with CapCut. It's lagging really bad. But yeah, and then you can also take your audio and make hip hop or music from it. But it can only do between 5 and 60 seconds. According to this, and this is 3 seconds, so can't do it. But yes, the audio speed is really cool. This is probably my favorite feature in CapCut. You literally just click on the speed and you can just change the speed by hovering over, and this changes the speed. It's so cool. So good. This is animation. This is how things and objects animate in and out. So if you want this to animate out, and this is even with overlays, you can just click on this, and then you can see how
Latest trending songs.
See how this ends out. It works with overlays too, so that's really good. When you use these animation ins and outs for an overlay, sometimes you have to comp the overlay for it to work because it looks kind of weird. I'm trying to see if I have an example. Here, I do have an example. Let me go into my assets. All right, so I'm gonna use this as an example. So this is your asset. So if I go here and then I hit W, and let's say I want this to pop up and then disappear. So I can click on this. I can go to animation, and then let's say this thing does this.
All the latest trending songs.
It's a little bit too long. There we go.
All the latest trending songs.
So it looks weird that it goes like this, and then it's like that. But if you hit Alt G, now if you double click on this, and let's say we just remove this here and then go back out, now we can add cooler animation in. So let's say this thing flashes down.
All the latest.
Without you doing the Control G, it wouldn't look
songs.
as cool. So this is what it looks like.
All the latest trending songs.
Before, if I undo this, now if we go back to animation and try to do the flash, this is what it looks like now.
All the latest trending songs.
See how it doesn't look as good? See what I mean? There's things that the software does that it just doesn't tell you. You got to figure this stuff out. So then you can just have it animate out too. So there's also combos too. So you can have things do like where it's just like bouncing.
Trending.
So see how it's like bouncing, but it's like consistently bouncing. That's what the combo is. All right. So that's the animation. What else? Let's go back. Actually, wait before we do that, because that gives you more options. So if you click on this again, animation, this is tracking. So you can track stuff on people's heads. So let's put this on our head. Click motion track, and then we're going to track. We'll use our eye because that's a good pixel starting point, and then hit start. And you can see, now let's see if it tracked it.
Free karaoke with all the latest trending.
So it tracked. So it's not a perfect track. I never really considered this being good at tracking, but it's pretty cool. So pretty nifty, if I don't say so myself. Here I'm gonna do a different track. So let's say I track here, and we track right here. This is going to be a little trickier. Track it forward and back, and this is what it would look like. I'm gonna turn the audio off again. Yeah, it's really weird. It's a weird tracking tool, but at least you can play around with it if you want. We went over that. This is AI stylize and AI effects. Not gonna go over that. That's pretty much it when it comes to the color grading and all the settings. These are the in. You can cut here. You can slice here. You can dice, undo, redo, change the different option here. You can do a transcript, which I have a whole video on. You can add markers, which is really helpful. If you go into audio, you can do beat markers. So like to the beat, to the music, if you don't do stuff like that, you can enhance the voice itself rather than doing all the enhancement at once. And you can normalize sound separately. There's your delete button, your mute button, your visible button. You can lock your buttons. That tells you if it's a video or if it's a music track. And this is your adjustment layer. This button will show you a preview of what it will look like on TikTok. So this is a quality of life update as of August. This feature that you're seeing right now was not here last month. To be honest, I know I'm pretending to know that I saw this before. I've never seen this in my life. So when I'm working with a team, I'll send them this. I'll either send them this tool or I'll send them this tool. This is all we would have to know if stuff was lined up. Now that we have, this is insane. This feature alone is fucking insane. And I mean, I know this is a tutorial and I shouldn't be cussing. I'm so sorry, but we're all grown-ups here. This is crazy. All right, so this is awesome. Not only do you have TikTok, you also have YouTube Shorts, which has the layout for you. That's crazy. This is going to be helpful during the process that we're about to go into next, which is it's pretty much the second to the last thing. And then you have Instagram Reels. Now you can set this and keep it up, and you don't have to shut it down. You have this overlay. It's not going, when you render it, it's not going to be a part of the render. You can click on export. It's not showing up there. It's nothing but a guide. That's all it is. It's just a beautified guide. That way, am I framing her right? Am I framing the text, the subtitles right? Is anything going to be cut off? This is huge. This is a really huge thing. The second thing, I know we talked about proxies and older computers with low RAM and processing speed. This is another thing. I always, now that I got a super computer, I'm always on full. If you feel like you're lagging, like we are now for some reason, you can click on this and this will change it to low quality, medium quality, high quality. Should be fine for most of you, but if they do feel like, damn, it's like taking forever, then just change it. You should be fine. It's just like After Effects. You have seen me probably use this a lot, but this is how you zoom in and do all that good stuff. We'll just kick it back to here. This is how you change the aspect ratio. It's right there. This is how you go into full screen. And then this is how you go out of full screen. This one, if you turn this off, I'm gonna show you, here I'm gonna break this up. So you see how it's not coming, this doesn't slide up. If I turn this back on, it slides up. And if I cut and delete, it slides up. So if you don't want that to happen, then you just turn it off, that's all. The other tool that you have is this auto snapping button or option. If I turn it off, it doesn't auto snap, but if I turn it on, see how it auto snap, you can see the line appears. Another useful tool to have, I don't know why it's not doing. Yeah, see how it's lagging. I can't undo it. This is how bad this software is. There we go, now we're back. This is turn on linkage. I don't have that on at all. Turn off preview access, that's on, don't know what the hell it does. And this is your timeline fit to zoom, which is great. If you want this thing to go away, you just click this. This will go away, give you more space. And then track highlight or height, sorry. You can have it set to default. I 90% of the time use default unless I'm sound designing. If I'm doing sound design, I'll go tall. And that way I can see the sound waves better. So you just click these three dots and then go tall. Now, I'm gonna unmute this. We're not gonna play the audio, but you can see how you can see things way better. And then you have audio wave size, and I'm at 30%. If I go to 60, this is how big this thing can get. I can't change it here, but I can change it here. So if I want to go to 100, that way I don't see the preview of the video, but I can now see just the audio. Very helpful when you're just doing sound design. It's quality of life thing that they've added. I love it. It's amazing. I'm going to change this back to what it was before. And I think that's it for that. All right, finally, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle. So we've gotten the music done. We've got the sound effects done. We've gotten her color graded. We got her face and things, makeup on her. And now we gotta do the sound design, or we gotta do the subtitles. Now, before I go into the subtitles, when you're doing let's say, a skit or a TikTok video or whatever, you got 5 shots, 7 shots. You gotta combine them. You gotta do match cuts. You gotta do transitions and end cards and overlays. There's more to it, but this is just a crash course on CapCut itself. I may make other videos. I think I have a couple tutorials on how to do more of the hands-on stuff, quote unquote. But I wanted this video to be go over all the effects and features of CapCut, so that way you have a general idea of what this software can really do and how powerful it is. I haven't even went over these things. I haven't went over stickers, effects, transitions. We're gonna go over captions now, but I haven't went over any of this. So what I'll probably do, I don't want this video to go over an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and we got like 10 minutes to go, unless I edit this video, quote unquote, spoiler alert. Unless I edit this video, we're about to hit 1 hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the subtitles. So you just go under text, then go to auto captions, keep these the same, English, and generate. And then this is where preferences come into play. What I usually would do is I would click on animation. No, I'm sorry. I would actually go to text, templates, and this is a feature I hope they add at some point, but they haven't added it yet, which is irritating, is favorites. They don't have favorites, so you always got to go here and find the text template that you've always been using. Let's just use this one for now. We'll use this template. And then text that I like to use, if you go back to basic, I like to use for video game or mobile apps, the Planet Comic. And then I would take and do something like this. So then you see how now you can see where the text is going to be. And you're like, oh, cool. So the text is not going to be near, let's say this is for TikTok. Let me change this. The text is not going to be in the captions near the name, and it's not going to be on the side. So as long as the text is not in the way, then you're good. And sometimes if you have like split screen, you can move the text up here. So that way the game footage is in the middle. But other than that, this is pretty much it. You're pretty much done. Let's just pretend that, hang on, let me change. I don't know why that keeps popping up. But let's just pretend that you've got all the shots laid out and ready to go. You can just export it.
It's a Star Maker, a free karaoke app with all the latest trending songs.
See, it's still kind of laggy, but also this highlight, let's say the highlight was too big or it's the wrong color. If you go to captions and then go to highlight keywords and then go to style, then you can change the size of the caption. So if I go like, oh man, that's too big, I can size it down. And then if I want the color to be white, there it is, it's white now. So then you can just go back and now it's better. And that actually looks better. So if you go to text, let's say you don't like the way latest is, but you don't want to change the size of everything else, you just click this and then you would highlight latest, sorry, and then you scale it up. I'm sorry, that's a bad example. The highlight, you have to go to highlights for that one. Let me pick one that's just, okay, let's say width. I don't know why I would want to scale up width, but let's just say I did. Uncheck apply to all, make it big as hell. not that big. And then click out of it. And you see how I didn't change everything else but that word. I wanted to share both of those two things before we end the video. Those two things are pretty huge. I do have other presets here, but normally you wouldn't use any of these colors. The only colors that work as of August of 2025 is white, black, and red. No other colors work. I do have green here, and I sometimes will still use this, but I honestly wouldn't recommend even using this type of green. I would probably make this black, and that'll be it. I would probably make it like this, or actually invert it like this. Actually, no, I don't like that either. We'll just keep it like this. That's all you need. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, let me know. I promise I will do a follow-up video with the effects, so that way you'll get to see all the effects and stickers and stuff like that. I'll have to probably do that another day, probably sooner than later. But this is a crash course on how to use CapCut. Have a great day.